Hey everybody, I'm just here waiting on our kiddo to get out of rehearsal after school, and I just thought I would make this video really quick. I've just been thinking about the last month and how God just has done some really cool things, and I don't know, maybe you need a little boost in your faith in God, and maybe you don't have faith in God and you are stuck on the word religion, or you're anti-religion, or maybe you had faith in God and people have disappointed you and politics have frustrated you and you're distracted. Well, I just want to help you just hear some cool things that God has been doing. Number one, today the clouds are incredible and they are declaring the glory of God. So if you're not a fan of God yet, you don't really know if he's like legit. The clouds, they're my favorite. So I'm going to reverse this. These kinds of clouds, I call them happy clouds, and they're everywhere today. They're super puffy and amazing. And they just lumber along. Earlier, they were very structured, and there's so many flat. They're flat on the bottom, really floofy on the top, and you just endlessly see just more and more and more and more. And it's just my favorite. I just love them. Anyways, they're kind of like silent witnesses of what's happening. Like, hey, I see you. I know it's a weird thing, but I just felt like that was like a blessing from God today. But I even said that with some of the kids, the students that were going to their cars. I was helping with car rider kids, and I said, these are my favorite clouds. They're my very favorite clouds. It's like God gave me an early Christmas present. And I heard this voice behind me. A little kid said, not all of us see it that way. It was funny. But I just want to say a few things about what God has been doing lately that is definitely, it's divine, okay? You can call it coincidence if you want, but I don't think it's possible. So about 2 months ago, I was at a meeting. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I looked down, and my engagement ring that's next to my wedding ring was missing a diamond. And I was like, oh no, it actually happened. It took 22 years, but it fell out. I've always been wondering if one of my diamonds would leap out of its setting. And I was like, I have no idea when this was, but it wasn't like that earlier this afternoon. I was like, it must have been at the meeting. So I was looking all over the floor at the meeting, didn't see it. I looked in the parking lot looking for a glimmer in the concrete, didn't see it. So I told a lot of friends, pray, like, hey, I know this is the craziest thing, but can you pray I find this diamond? And so, because I only have 3 diamonds, it's a little awkward if you have 2 and then an empty spot. But yeah. So anyway, I kept it on my hand because the ring is tiny compared to my hands. I made it that way 22 years ago so it wouldn't fall off. I don't really take it off, can you tell? And I just had, for weeks, I had an engagement ring and a wedding ring, and the engagement ring had 2 diamonds instead of 3. And I just kept praying. I was like, well, Lord, you know exactly where it is. You know exactly where it is. If you want me to find it, I'll find it. So I kept my eyes out for it, and I had people asking around at church where the meeting was, like, if you see a sparkly little diamond, it's Becky's. So fast forward, it's like 3 weeks later, maybe 4, I don't know. And I'm on the phone with my mom at home, and I'm just walking around back and forth talking, listening and talking. I just decided to pace, walk all over the house and talk. And I had my eyes on the carpet as I turned through the hallway to go to my room, and I think I went through that hallway 3 times. Just talking, go in my room, talk a little bit, walk back out into the living room, just kind of looping around. We were having a great conversation. And then I looked down and I was like, why is there glitter on my carpet? Because I live with 2 dudes and I don't like glitter. So why is there glitter on my carpet? I was like, So I leaned down to pick up the piece of glitter, and it's hard, like not glitter. I was like, what is this? And then I just calmly said to my mom, you know what? This is the craziest thing, but I think I just found my diamond. And I said, but I can't see it because I need my reading glasses. So I went to find my glasses, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is it. And then I got my ring, because I finally yanked my ring off my hand, I don't know, after week 2 of having 2 instead of 3 diamonds. So I found the ring, matched it up. Oh my gosh, found my diamond. Well, it was all the same timing that I was trying to get flights to go to Pennsylvania to sing in my friend's funeral. And I was like having the hardest time because I have lost my birth certificate, my actual birth certificate. And now it's 5 minutes of me talking. Are you still listening? I hope so. I don't know. But it was crazy. I couldn't find it. So I've looked for 2 years, and I know we're supposed to have our real ID, but I couldn't find it. And I knew I had it. I know it's in our house. I still know it's in our house, and I know God knows where it is. But I hadn't found it yet. So my husband went ahead and bought the tickets for the flight, even though, you should have your real ID with you for a flight. And I was like, I'll just order a birth certificate. It can be sent to me. I have 2 weeks. Maybe it'll come in. Maybe we can expedite it, whatever. Well, as soon as I made this big honking order for 3 of them, so that if I lose one, whatever. And it said, we do not expedite any birth certificates right now for the state of Oklahoma. And yours will come in between like December 6th and January 7th or something. It was crazy. So it was December 4th, or I don't know. I was like, oh, this is terrifying, but the Lord knows what's going on. He just showed me my diamond after weeks and weeks. So I was like, he's going to have to take care of me. So I had a lot of people praying that I would be able to get on that plane. And then it started getting I was a little nervous, like closer to the time. I was getting a little bit, I don't know what's going to happen. So I called TSA. I call them and I say, hello, I have a quick question. I don't know exactly how to say this. That's what I said. Something like that. The guy goes, are you asking about an identification question? And I was like, yeah. And I just said yes. And then he immediately said, if you have an Oklahoma driver's license and not a real ID, you will be able to get on that flight. And then I go, what? Are you serious? What? And he goes, yeah. And I go, okay, that's like a miracle. And he goes, and when you're in Pennsylvania and you're coming back, you will be able to get on that flight and come home. And I was like, I think you're just speaking miracles right now, because everyone has told me that's not possible. And he goes, well, it's possible. I said, oh, okay, thanks. Bye. So 2 days go by and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I show up. I don't have a real ID. I just have my driver's license and I got my luggage. I'm ready to go. And I get up there, the guy's like looking for the ID, and I give him my driver's license instead of the real ID. And he says, do you have anything else, like a real ID? I said, no, this is all I have. And he goes, okay, you're going to have a longer process. Just stand in this box over there. And I was like, oh man, the guy was wrong. Oh, well, I'll just wait. I'll just see what happens. I'm standing in this box waiting for someone to give me an interrogation, like give me more documents, blah, blah, blah. I'm standing there. He lets in like 3 or 4 more people. And then he just looks at me and he goes, okay, you're good to go. Go on. And he lets me through. I pass TSA checkpoint and I get on the plane. And then a week later, that weekend, I get to the Pennsylvania airport to come home. Same exact thing happened and I still was able to fly home. Listen, people, there is a God. He loves you and he cares for all the things.